Bo, 10 million. Right now. Today. I'll catch a flight wherever you are, you make 10 million. I mean, any day. The world of hip-hop is filled with drama, but this one? It's been brewing beneath the surface for years. Jim Jones is finally speaking up, exposing the real reason Katt Williams got booted from Dipset. Trust me, it's way deeper than we ever thought. For years, Cameron's version of events was the only one that surfaced. The story that Katt Williams was kicked out of the crew for throwing hands on one of Dipset's own. The narrative went that Katt got into a heated argument, punched a member, and Cameron had to step in to break it up. But guess what? That was all a lie. Now, Jim Jones is setting the record straight. According to him, the real reason for Katt's departure wasn't a petty altercation. It was all about jealousy and some serious beef that was simmering under the surface. It got so bad that Katt Williams had to start rolling in a bulletproof Sprinter just to stay safe. A bulletproof van. Let that sink in. Let's break it down. Back in the mid-2000s, Katt Williams wasn't just dominating comedy. He was rolling with the legendary Dipset, Cameron, Jim Jones, the whole Harlem-based crew. Katt was a real part of the team. In 2006, he even jumped on Dipset tracks, adding his comedic twist to their music. But it wasn't just about business. Katt was showing love in a major way. At a 2016 event in Philly, Katt Williams, generous as ever, gave Cameron $30,000 and handed out luxury cars to Beanie Sigel and Lil Mo. Everything seemed fine, but then, things took a dark turn. At that same event, backstage, a confrontation erupted. A Dipset member, let's call him Dipset X, accused Katt of something ridiculous, passing gas near him. Yeah, you heard that right. A fart. That's the beef that supposedly caused the blow-up. When no one fessed up, Katt reportedly lost it and punched the guy right in the face. Now, Cameron stepped in, claiming he had to flip Katt upside down and slam him to the ground. He said he snapped out of it and let it slide, but the tension was already too thick to ignore. Katt's security, and not just any security, but members of the Fruit of Islam, stepped in immediately, escorting Dipset out of the venue. From that moment on, Katt Williams had cut ties with Dipset for good. That was it. No going back. Katt wasn't just done with them professionally, the personal rift was real. According to Cameron, Katt had been stirring the pot long before the altercation. He was allegedly claiming that Dipset was bad-mouthing him, fueling the fire. But looking at the bigger picture, there was clearly more to the story. Katt, once an ally, had grown distant, feeling betrayed by the crew. The tension wasn't just between him and one member, it ran deeper, and it wasn't just about a single argument. It was about something much bigger. Let's not forget about Junior Ryder's claim. According to him, Katt Williams rolled up to a meeting in a bulletproof Sprinter. Not just any bulletproof vehicle, but one riddled with bullet holes. Word on the street was that some Dipset members had allegedly tried to put a hit on Katt. Simple jealousy. Katt's star was rising, and some folks couldn't handle it. He was rolling different now, living a life that was no longer about just the comedy scene but about survival. A bulletproof van? With gunshot holes? That's not a coincidence. But here's where it gets even crazier. Katt Williams straight up denied Cameron's version of the events. According to Katt, Cameron was lying, exaggerating the story to make himself look like the hero. There was no flipping him upside down and slamming him on the ground. Katt said it was all fiction. Now, Jim Jones is stepping up, exposing the truth behind Cameron's tale. According to Jim, the tension between them wasn't just about a fight or some petty argument. It was about something much deeper. Jealousy, power struggles, trust issues. And let's be honest, there's been bad blood between Cam and Jim for a long time. It all started back in the mid-2000s when rumors spread about the rift within Dipset. Jim Jones and Juelz Santana made moves with 50 Cent, Cameron's longtime rival. You see the pattern, don't you? The beef wasn't just about Katt Williams. It was the entire crew falling apart at the seams. And this wasn't the first time Cam had a fallout with someone close to him. By 2007, it was clear. The cracks in the foundation of Dipset were showing, and the drama wasn't just about music or fame. It was personal. So, as the layers peel back, we see that the story isn't as simple as one fight or one falling out. It's a tale of betrayal, jealousy, and deep-rooted tension that's been bubbling under the surface for years. But here's the real question. Was Katt Williams' departure just a sign of something bigger within Dipset, or was it a moment that exposed cracks that had been there all along? We may never get the full truth. But one thing's for sure, the drama between Katt Williams and Dipset is far from over. It's no secret that Cameron and Jim Jones have had their fair share of tension over the years, but what many didn't know was just how fractured their relationship had become behind the scenes. Cameron himself admitted that he and Jim weren't even speaking anymore. Yet, when the issue hit the public eye, Cameron kept it cool, acting like there was no bad blood. Jim, however, wasn't buying it. When Cameron took a break and stepped back from the spotlight, it left both Jim Jones and Joel Santana in a tough position. They had to level up and push their careers forward without the support they were once used to. The weight of that change was heavy, and the void left behind by Cameron's absence was palpable. Fast forward to December 2024, and the beef flares up once more. This time, the spark was ignited after Cameron invited 50 Cent onto his show, It Is What It Is. Knowing the history between 50 and Dipset, Jim saw this as a direct slap in the face. The tension boiled over, and soon, the public bickering began all over again. At first, it seemed like the drama of old. The past was the past, and things had cooled down. But then, Cameron took it to another level. He addressed the issue again on his own sports talk show, It Is What It Is, after Jim did an interview with Justin Leboe. In that interview, Jim reminisced about growing up with Cameron, saying that he and Cam had witnessed Maze disrespect Cam when he signed with Bad Boy Records. But Cam wasn't having it. He quickly shot down Jim's version of events, calling him out in front of everyone. Cameron didn't stop there. He fired shots at Jim's claim of being from Harlem, questioning his authenticity. Cameron said, I see somebody from Harlem trying to act like they're from Harlem so bad, you gotta keep saying it. Real ones from Harlem don't need to say it. They just are. Then came the ultimate dig. Cameron claimed that Jim wasn't even a friend in the beginning. Instead, he said Jim was more of a fan than anything else when their bond first started. You were a fan, begging us to be part of the crew, Cam said. This was a blow to Jim, implying that their whole friendship was built on something much less genuine than Jim had led people to believe. And that's where things hit a tipping point. The heart of this beef lies in authenticity. In the world of Harlem, being from Harlem isn't just about geography. It's a badge of honor that holds weight in the hip-hop world and within Dipset. So, when Cameron kept pushing the narrative that Jim wasn't from Harlem, it wasn't just a jab at his past, it was a full-on attack on Jim's street credibility and legacy within the group. But here's where things take a twist. Freaky Zeke, one of the founding members of Dipset, stepped in to set the record straight. Zeke threw out receipts, claiming that he met Jim in 3rd grade, long before they all blew up. Jim might have been born in the Bronx, but after his grandmother passed, he moved to Harlem and became deeply embedded in the culture there. Zeke made it clear that Jim wasn't just a fan trying to hang with the crew, he was part of the fabric of Harlem itself. Jim's been in Harlem since he was a kid. He's a part of that culture, and that's undeniable, Zeke said, defending Jim's legacy. He even went on to say that without Jim, Dipset wouldn't have the same impact it did. Jim didn't just live in Harlem, he became Harlem. Yet, despite these truths, Cameron kept pushing his narrative. And that's when Jim Jones hit his breaking point. In a February 2025 appearance on The Breakfast Club, Jim was asked about his feud with Cam. At first, he played it cool, calling Cameron his brother for life. But when Charlemagne the God brought up Cam's shady claim about Jim sending people to jail, Jim lost it. How am I sending people to jail? Jim fired back. What are these people smoking? They on new drugs. It wasn't just a reaction. Jim was done. He wasn't about to let Cameron keep spreading lies. So, Jim did the unthinkable. He challenged Cam to a fight. Not just any fight, but a $10 million boxing match. He laid down the gauntlet, telling Cam that if he was really about that life, they could settle their issues in the ring. Wherever you want to meet me, let's do it, Jim said. I'm ready. This wasn't just a challenge. This was Jim finally taking control of his own narrative, tired of being dragged through the mud by someone he once called a brother. The emotional weight of this public feud is heavy, But now it's about more than just words. It's about putting everything on the line. So, what's the real question here? Was Cameron really just jealous of Katt Williams' success? Is that why he pushed him out of Dipset? Or is Jim Jones finally revealing the truth about the foundation of their bond? And if this boxing match happens, who's your money on? The Battle of Harlem continues, but this time, it might be settled in a way neither side could have predicted.